What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. All right, thanks for stopping by as always, and I'm here to always bring you the best need-to-know information about crypto, have some news and updates on a lot of fun projects, have some updates and breakdown on some quant information, some XDC news, some Casper news, and some Hedera stuff. Nothing really super exciting going on today, but really wanted to point out some news first. So let me just jump into that because I feel like it paints a good picture of kind of where we are right now. So you see macro analyst Lynn Alden says Bitcoin unlikely to go below 20,000. So that's kind of mainly what we're watching right now is, of course, where Bitcoin is going. Some people say it's going down lower. A lot of people are feeling like we could see a bounce here. So I like to see macro where macro investors are looking and where the overall market is. So obviously still a lot of FUD and fear out there on what actually is going on. You know, it's at $37,000 right now, Ethereum at 2,400. So it'll be really it'll be interesting to see. But following these big trends, though, I don't like I talk about in a lot of videos. I'm not going to get too worried about the micro. Yes, there's a lot of FUD. Yeah, we have things like on this Bloomberg article here, crypto diehards are about to find out if it really was a bubble. Yeah, I guess we are. Their case that they're making here is that, well, once the Fed started pumping a lot of money into the markets back after, you know, the fiasco in March of 2020, now all of a sudden we have a lot of liquidity coming into the markets. Well, they're saying basically that is what has contributed a big portion to it. But that's why it's also important to look at where things are going as far as adoption, where things are going with tokenization. A lot of this is, we know, with regulatory clarity, with things like happening with Time Wonderland, which if you don't know what that is, it was a big DeFi, and I lost some money in it. Luckily, I didn't have too much into it, but things like that do happen. And so, of course, regulations are going to be coming in here and clamping down. So we want to make sure we really do our research now when things are not as fun. Do our research so we see where things are going. All right, well, let's keep moving on here because I found this next article. Meta wants to build the world's fastest supercomputer for the metaverse and more. So basically, this thing, they already have a really fast supercomputer, but they want it to become the world's fastest. So right now, the system's processing power is on par with the world's 5th fastest supercomputer, but in July, Meta's going to increase the GPUs from 6,080 to 16,000. So they're calling it the AI Research Supercluster. So this right here's got thousands of NVIDIA high-performance GPUs. Imagine that thing as a Bitcoin miner. Anyway, this thing's Meta engineers started work in 2020 designing the system's cooling, power, cabling, and networking systems from the ground up. All right, so that's cool. So it's going to be able to do a whole, but this is what, I mean, this is the future right here. You know, you've seen those scary videos of those robots being able to imitate the human face, you know, like this is, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just, all we can do is watch, you know, and watch and see where things are going and try to make as much money off of it as we can, you know, to make the world better. Anyway, moving on here. That's a good article. I'll link this, though, because this is, like I said, it's going to be something to look at if you want to read the full article there. But Ethereum here likely to capture a portion of the $123 trillion global money supply, right? This is interesting, too, here. This was from a report by Cathie Wood. Now, if you don't know who she is, she's ARK Investments. It's a very huge asset management, and she's basically, she puts out reports and stuff. You know, knowledgeable woman overall. She's basically saying that Bitcoin and Ethereum have trillion-dollar futures lying ahead owing to their continued growth and utility, right? So regardless of how slow Ethereum is, she's saying, look, it's going to be here. She's saying that Ether, her report boldly predicted that the market capitalization of Ethereum could cross $20 trillion alone within the next 10 years. You got other people like Raoul Pal saying that crypto as an overall market cap will be $200 trillion, you know, so got a lot of smart people saying, hey, so relative to where we are right now, we're gonna see massive adoption here. So it could push Ether up to around 170,000 to 180,000. Wow, that's just insane. Bitcoin crossing 1 million. I mean, who knows in the future where it will be, but you can see here decentralized finance promises more interoperability, transparency, and financial services while minimizing intermediary fees. So that's very interesting to watch. You know, it might be worth continuing to hold on to some Ether, not financial advice, but, as a hedge. Let's move into some actual news. This is really what I want to talk about, and I got several things I want to cover and touch on here that you'll find interesting. So you see here this shout out from Casper here. Basically, they announced that there's going to be a city in China that's basically going to be built on Casper here. So I was like, well, that's pretty cool. I wanted to share it here. We see the city of Fuzhou, China. Casper Labs is building an open permissioned blockchain protocol, and it's going to be basically the service provider for their service network. So essentially they partnered with China's blockchain-based service network, which is BSN, through the agreement, which has been minted as a they basically made an NFT of it for commemorating, and essentially they're going to be added as a blockchain of choice to the city chain for use in public and private crypto infrastructure development in the region. So there you go. That's the use case right there, is a city using it for their city infrastructure. Not much sure how much more of a use case you could get. Dubbed Fuzhou Chain, powered by Casper, Rocktree Capital, an investment company based in New York, played a critical role. So you see here they basically saying by partnering with Casper, the BSN gains from Casper scalability, security, and decentralization. The use of open permission blockchain eliminates the use of crypto to pay for gas fees. All combined, this makes it much simpler for developers in and around Fuzhou to generate public and private blockchain applications at a lower cost. So that's interesting right here. Definitely, Casper makes me even more bullish on holding it and continuing to accumulate through these darker times. Now, moving on here, I saw this update here on Hedera. Wanted to just mention it here that they're on their Reddit forum that they're actually going to be upgrading their mainnet here on February 3rd, and some of this is really technical, but some of the main things I wanted to see, the version 0.22, a lot of you may not really want to know about all the nerdy technical stuff, but it's basically one of the main highlights of the release here. Shout out to Rich Transition there on Reddit. Solidity integration with native HTS tokens. So they reference some other like geek speak here. No offense if you're a geek, that's totally cool. But I just don't maybe understand all the tiny little technical details. But I do see here Solidity is a major coding language here, and so Solidity integration with native HTS, which is the Hedera token service token. So anything that's like natively built with the Hedera token service, now they're going to be able to integrate with Solidity. So Solidity, like I said, is a very well-known. I'm not a coder, but I've heard of it. So I know that it's like. It's used to build and code a lot of like crypto-based things. So that's good that we're having the integration. So that's good. Again, just shows that it's continuing to roll out. The more I go down the Hedera rabbit hole, the more you go down it, the more you're like, wow. Now, I did see this article. Google Cloud, and this is linked to Hedera here. You see here they're hiring a legion of blockchain experts to expand their business. So Google Cloud customers include blockchain companies such as Dapper Labs, Hedera, and Theta Labs. So they're building out their team here. You see here their cloud division has formed a group to build business around blockchain applications. We already know Google's on the Hedera governing council, so this only makes sense here that they're going to continue to want to scale out what they can do. So we know Google scaling out, being involved with Hedera, I mean, it's a no-brainer, is one of those cryptos that's going to survive any of the coming crackdowns, right? So I feel like in my mind it's a safe play to get in on. Now, I found this as well, Quant comparing to Chainlink. I wanted to mention this because I know there's been some talk, people comparing what's Chainlink doing, what does their CCIP, and so again, shout out to Quant Updates here for this post, and it looks like it was originally in German, but I wanted to blow this here and kind of share it with you because it's very interesting. So the Chainlink CCIP, the Interlink protocol there, basically this is not launched yet, and essentially it's approximately 3 to 5 years behind on Overledger, right? So essentially it attempts to link different blockchains together here via smart contracts. So they're just communicating through the smart contracts, but the individual base layers, the more they add in here, it's more throughput. It just basically takes more time for it to go through. So whereas with Quant being just the underlying it doesn't even depend on any blockchain. It's not even just connecting blockchains. It's a multi-chain contract connection. So it's like, I'm a visual person, so sometimes seeing these flowcharts and how this actually goes and flows is it's a lot easier than just trying to just visualize it in your head, right? So it's like basically however, the CCIP is focused on crypto itself, whereas Overledger is not. So it's like Chainlink is good; it'll be around. It's great because it's like it's a good Oracle solution, so that independent or decentralized multi-chain ecosystems can have like a reliable third-party way to know like what is correct data. So that's important. That is going to be what their use case is, and that's more what the CCIP is. Is like how can we make sure these independent how can we make sure these multi-chain ecosystems can have that validated data third party in a trustless way. So that's what that is. Quant is connecting more than just blockchain. So that's like they're both going to be needed. Quant connecting with other ecosystems, even all the way up to like different DAG networks. And so anyway, hopefully this kind of breaks down more of what these differences are. And shout out if you hold both. I mean, Quant is great. Chainlink, you're right. I've been dollar cost averaging into that. I got some myself just to hold on to. Not financial advice because it's definitely been down a lot more. So it's worth holding some and just seeing what would happen. But definitely, I feel like I'm the most confident on Quant. That's just me. Shout out if you feel something different. Now, I wanted to mention this before we wrap up this video. This is from a recent basic TFD initiative. This is Andre Cashman. Now, I listened to the whole thing. It's 53 minutes long, but they had Niels on here, this guy right here, I hope I'm saying his name, Niels Bailing. He is founder and CFO of TradeTech. Now, we know that's a huge part of like tokenizing global trade, and they're basically making the case, and I'm going to play a clip here that's really actually interesting. And they're talking about the XCC network. When is staking coming? And how does that actual tokenization of this platform work? So I'm going to just play this little clip here and would love to hear your thoughts on it.
Your contribution, Billy, bringing new pools of liquidity. We hear about staking on the crypto side, so people are willing to hold their assets and put their digital assets to work. Do you think there is an opportunity indeed to bridge those staking options that we see growing in different assets to the TradeTech XDC network technology stack and bring this liquidity to trade finance originators such as accelerated payments?
Yeah, I think that there's a great opportunity for that. I do think that.
So this guy right here is with the XDC network. So he's talking about, hey, when is staking? When is it coming?
As we've been working really closely with TradeTech, and I think as Nils has really pointed out, that there's a lot of blockchain that's being created that aren't really necessarily focused on really solving the real problems that are happening out there.
Real world use case.
Staking is one of the pieces that we feel is really important in the next phase, of really moving forward and bringing liquidity into the system. And so there's a lot of factors that go into that. But we work first and foremost at looking at what is the need of TradeTech in the marketplace, and how can we fulfill that, and focus on real world solutions for what we're doing. And staking is a key component. So we have development teams that have been at the core of the smart contracts tokenization platform, working on solutions for staking. And we believe that that's a real opportunity for retail investors to have the opportunity to come in and take part in investment, within or supporting the ecosystem itself, which I think has been pointed out, really well by Christoph in some of our previous sessions, that you're really talking about an inflation-proof asset class.
Inflation-proof
that's very
asset
stable
class.
And secure, and I think it's a great alternative.
Now, I wanted to just speed up here to this guy. This is the very last question.
Some of the things that we're working on are, front and center. So there are, custodians that are, working under, regulations within a particular jurisdiction, and, we're working to onboard with them. And, the timing of that is really predicated upon, the need and also the amount of time it's going to take to do the integration, and whether, the need of the partner or custodian or integrator to have that service. So everyone's focused on different aspects of what they're trying to do in the marketplace. So I think the short answer is it's hard to tell. I would say that things have developed very quickly in 2021. There was a huge development challenge, and there still is for a lot of enterprises out there. Even today I was in a conversation where there's multiple projects waiting to get integrated into something, and we're looking at, well, how can we?
Anyway, so just kind of wrap that up. This is again a long video, but the point here was that this adoption is happening, and they basically wrap it up and say that it into 2023, 2024 may be when we actually see all of the groundwork that not only XDC is working on, but you have to think the whole total, they're building systems ahead of the regulation coming. That's what's coming, not just here in the US, but in Europe, in the UK. It's about, especially as pertaining to XDC, and really a lot of these other utility networks, is really understanding what they can legally do, right? So a lot of these government systems and big enterprise systems haven't really switched over, and so XDC is going to be coming into 2023, 2024 might be one of those years where we really start seeing this kind of stuff pick up. So I don't know, hopefully that was helpful. This video is getting a little bit long though. I'm trying to keep these super short, 15 minutes or under. Appreciate you watching, trying to just cram as much in and into these videos as possible, because I know your time is valuable as well. But hopefully you've enjoyed this video. And help me out, hit the like button on this. It definitely helps spread these and continue to push this out to new people. So I love hearing and seeing all the new people that are coming by, hopefully enjoying and getting value from these videos. Hopefully enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next video.